Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gridiron Gals podcast. I'm Rita, the NFL chick.
And hey, everybody, it's Chelsea, aka Chelsea's right.
And yes, I got on my good clothes. Today was a very long day. So while Chelsea is representing her HBCU in Clark, Atlanta, I am representing the 9 to 5, I guess, right now. As I got my good clothes on. So NFL stuff, there are no undefeated teams remaining, Chels. We saw the Jets lose. The Jets beat the Eagles. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw the 49ers lose to the Browns with PJ Walker as their quarterback. Are you surprised by any of those losses?
Yes. I'm surprised that they happened so early in the season. Usually when you have teams that are steamrolling like that, they usually roll and then right around, week 12, 13, whatever, like we saw, like the Eagles had 2 losses last year and one was to the Commanders, which was very shocking. And then the other was to the Cowboys at the end of the season, with Jalen Hurts was out that game. But I would expect it near the end when they're kind of like, hey, we already got this, I was not expecting it to happen so early in the season. I surely was not expecting it to happen with the Eagles and the Jets.
Yeah.
That was a little surprising, but the Eagles turned that ball over so many times.
Yeah.
And like, you just can't win like that. You just can't win like that. You don't do yourself any favors between that and penalties. Like, I mean, it just happens. But I mean, when it comes to football, like I think we all forget, like any team can be beat any Sunday. It really is any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. Zach Wilson went from looking like a guy that should probably play in the XFL to a guy that should be a third stringer. So I guess we are having some progress here, right?
Yeah.
You and I went from not liking our teams to back on the wagon of liking our teams. And I saw you having some few choice words on the social medias after the game of Dallas Cowboys. So there's been a lot of discourse going on this week regarding Micah Parsons' comments and things. So what is your take on the game and how the Cowboys are perceived by media?
I mean, if you want attention to your article and to your podcast and to your show, you talk about the Cowboys. I mean, that's just how it is. The good thing is that they want to talk bad about the Cowboys. They don't want good things. So it always makes me happy when now here's a game where, I mean, the Cowboys should have won this game. Like, let's be clear. This is not they should have won this game just like they should have beat Arizona. The 49ers loss, I already had that as a loss. I did not think we'd beat the 49ers, but should have beat Arizona. We should be 5-1 right now. But they like to talk they talk a lot of junk. No one has said anything about the good game that Dak had on Sunday. Even a rushing touchdown, silence. And I was quite in the bottle on Sunday, so I probably said a lot of things. Woke up Monday morning and was like, who in the world is saying that on my timeline? Oh, is that
you? To paraphrase, I saw you say, apologize to Dak, you bitch ass niggas. That is what you said. I saw it.
That sounds like it's from somebody that wasn't raised right. That sounds like it's from somebody that's raised by wolves.
I mean, that's what you said. Saying.
Yeah, I mean, because they give that man a hard time. They done brought up the tweets with him talking about his deceased mother. And I'm like, y'all are going in on this man. Like, and they acted like Dak is the only one throwing interceptions because, hey, Jalen hit him for 3 last week.
Did.
So, it happens that and when teams when just like I said last week, The picks come when you are in moments of desperation, when you're scrambling, when you're doing all of that. So that's when they come. But hey, some people get away with it.
Yeah, I agree. As far as my team is concerned, yeah, the Ravens went across the pond. They went early. They learned, I think, the lesson in 2017 of going later in the week, and then they got skull dragged by the Jaguars back then. So they went Monday and played the Titans, who the Titans aren't good. So if the Ravens would have come out with a loss, dog, you would have had to burn M&T Bank Stadium down, because they're not a good football team. And, you know, they lost. They're 2-4 in the bottom of their division. The Houston Texans are doing better than the Tennessee Titans at this point. So,
roll time, man.
You know, I'm more concerned about them this weekend against the Lions. We will see how that game goes. But they won a game that, coming into it, they should have won. So, you know, I mean, I guess I'll give you a little golf clap for it, but that's what you were supposed to.
Oh, don't act like that. Listen, we want them to win the games that they're supposed to win.
And then they lost 2 games that they didn't, and that's why I feel the way that I do. You know,
right? You're right. You're right.
So that's what that is exactly where I'm at with them. And so, you know, back to the point of the about Dante Whitner. We talked about him last week because he's a former 49er. He was drafted by the 49ers, I believe. And he's now a quote unquote analyst. And I am putting quote marks around it because I don't get any analysis from him. I just get jargon. But apparently, I think Whitner played for the Browns as well at one point in time.
Yeah, he did. He had a short stint with the Browns.
Okay. Yeah. But apparently he got an eyeful on social media after the 49ers loss to the Browns, because of course we know that he doesn't have a objective bone in his body and has been very biased when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers. So he's had a lot to read the last few days.
Yes, those pretenders. The Browns are some pretenders. They didn't look like pretenders to me.
And he did he say that before or after the game?
He said that at 1:00.
Okay.
So
that defense ain't pretending. That's the thing. I don't care what you think about that offense. That defense is good. They're very good. Right. And so you can say whatever you want. They're very good.
And that is why we can't take him seriously, because you're not being objective. Like, come on. Come on. You know, you can say, I think the 49ers defense is better, but the Browns have a good defense.
But they're not.
I don't think it's enough.
That's
fair. Yeah.
That's not even fair because it's not statistically accurate.
Well, it's not. It's not. He ain't looking at no stats. He's just a fanboy. He's just a fanboy. Now you look dumb. And I don't know how into like social media and like sports media, but like sports fans hang on things like that.
Absolutely.
And they make you remember that you said that forever.
Yep. Yep. I completely agree with you on that. What are your thoughts on Roger Goodell's extension? I have no thoughts on this, Charles. I am very indifferent about it. I mean, who else is going to be the commissioner? I mean, now, I guess maybe the more interesting part of it is it's only a 3-year deal, maybe. I mean, so I don't know if that means that he's on a short leash or not. But, I mean, the extension itself doesn't do anything for me.
No, I mean, it makes sense. It's, you know, and I know people feel how they feel about Roger Goodell, but Roger Goodell has made these owners a shit ton of money. And so he's going to keep on being that person. The NFL has turned into a whole different beast under Roger Goodell. He works for the owners. A lot of the stuff that you think that you are mad at Roger Goodell about, you are really mad at the owners, including the owners of your own team. So, yeah, I mean, who else? Who else? I mean, the one that makes them all
Maury Smith. I'm sorry. Couldn't help myself because that man definitely had aspirations of being.
Oh yeah, Damaris. Yeah. Not good job, good effort, Damaris.
Yeah. But
good job, good effort.
not gonna happen, bro. So yeah, okay. Congrats, Goodell. I feel like it's his job to lose at this point until he decides like he wants to retire and move on. So that's where I stand with that. All right, Chels. Not too much NFL stories really this week, but it's the NFL. There's always going to be a story. So I am very sure next week it's going to be like, oh, we're having some real conversations because we're starting to get to mid-season at this point.
And we're near the trade deadline. So.
Yes, absolutely. So there's some things some rumors that I've been seeing muster up. And I'm curious to know, if these things are going to fly. So let's get to the week 7 schedule. Okay. Raiders at Bears. It appears that Justin Fields is doubtful with a hand injury. So I don't think he's playing.
Yeah. And guess what? I'm not sure it matters all of that much, but also like, I don't know. I'm just gonna pick the Raiders because the Bears are just too volatile for me.
I don't even know who the Bears' backup is to like.
I have no idea.
Anyway, I'm just gonna go pick the Raiders. But it's funny because the backup was always that's the person that everybody loves the most. So I would not be surprised if somehow the Bears won this game. Browns at Colts. No Anthony Richardson. He is out for the year with a shoulder injury. He will have surgery soon. Get well soon, AR-15, but yeah, I'm assuming Gardner Minshew is going to be the starter here.
And you said it's Colts at
they're in Indianapolis, but it's the Browns. They play the Browns.
Oh, okay. I'm going to stick with the Browns on this one.
Okay. I mean, I'm not picking against that defense if Anthony Richardson's not playing. Bills at Patriots. Do we really?
All right. Well. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
All right. Lions and Ravens. This is an interesting one.
Definitely, definitely very interesting. I'm gonna go with the Lions. The Lions. Hey, I said it starting the beginning of the year. That's the team to watch. So I'm gonna go with the Lions on this one.
Lions are a very good team. The Ravens, though, have not been home in a month, and typically they play up to their opponent, which means that they should be playing on all cylinders. So I'm going with the Ravens and a close one. Commanders at Giants.
Oh Lord, is Dimes back? Is that who does any of this matter? I really don't know.
I was gonna say, what does it matter to you?
It really doesn't matter.
Tyrod is playing.
So, yeah, Tyrod, yeah. Mr. Kneel down at the goal line is Yo, that was the most
I don't know if
amazing.
this helps you, but Commanders are 3-point favorites.
The Commanders are like, I'm just gonna pick the Giants for shits and giggles. I'm picking the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to do that if you was going to pick the Commanders, so I'll go to the other side and pick the Commanders. But yeah, I was for shits and giggles. Why did I pick the Giants? Yeah. Falcons and Bucks. Falcons are 3-3. Bucks are 3-2.
Hey, that quarterback they got for the Falcons is sketchy. I'm going with Tampa Bay.
Desmond Ridder?
Yes, Desmond Ridder is sketchy. I'm going with Tampa Bay.
I, too, am going with the Buccaneers, but I do think it will be a close one. Steelers at Rams.
I'm going to go with the Rams just because they're at home. I have no other reasons.
I'll go with the Steelers.
Okay.
I don't love that offensive line for the Rams. I do think that that's problematic for them, and the Steelers can probably take advantage of that. Cardinals at Seahawks. I don't know if Kyler Murray will be playing this week, but he did come back to practice.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm going to the Seahawks.
All right. Packers at Broncos. 2 mids. Black and mild.
2, yeah.
Come on, man. Like, one is 2-3, the other is 1-5. I mean, like,
I'm gonna go with the Broncos. I think this might be, they might get back in some type order.
I'm going with the Broncos too, for the record. Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites.
That's it.
Yeah. This ain't blowing nobody up on the scoreboard. Their defense.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. That is absolutely true, and that might be why they done brought McCole Hardman back.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs though. I don't really bet against St. Patrick that much.
I want to pick the Chargers here. I do. But Brandon Staley is a fucking idiot. And that's the biggest part. He gonna do something dumb like go for it on 4th down in their own territory again.
Analytic boys, those are analytic boys.
Yeah, and then Justin Herbert, he got it. He got the stuff. He just ain't put it all together. I be wanting to pick the Chargers. I really do. And then they do stupid stuff, and I just can't do it. So I'm going with the Chiefs as well. Dolphins at Eagles. This should be interesting.
Oh, that's gonna.
They have Eagles as 2.5-point favorites.
The Eagles?
Yes, really? They do.
I'm going with the Dolphins.
Me too.
Do they know something we don't know?
I mean, Vegas
put some points on the
Vegas just be baiting for folks. That's it.
Yeah, I'm going with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I am too. I'm definitely going with the Dolphins. Last but not least, 49ers at Vikings.
Oh, well, yeah. But the 49ers is not losing to the Vikings.
All right, bet. I'm not picking the Vikings. So there's that. And so, yes, that is the week 7. There's 6 teams that are on the bye, including your Cowboys. So that is it for week 7 picks of the NFL.
Stress-free Sunday for me.
Yeah, sucker-free Sunday. Good luck to you, friend. Meanwhile, I need you to send some extra prayers over here for me.
Chad, are you going to the game?
Now, I do have a bye for my college team, Florida, as they prepare to play Georgia, and not this weekend, but next weekend. So they're on a bye. But another team that I feel like might be on a bye this week, if I remember this correctly, Colorado.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Colorado, if you did not see that game, last week they played Stanford, and yes, it was last Friday, and it's been a whole week since this has happened, but we didn't talk about this on the podcast because this was late Friday night. So we're going to talk about it now, okay?
Right.
And
late Friday night, 10:30.
Right. And what we're going to talk about is how Colorado shit the bed at home. I was ready for bed, Chels, at 29-0. Okay. Turned it off. I don't need to see no more of this. Stanford ain't good. I thought Stanford would put up a little bit of a fight. Ain't that good. Go to the bathroom, peek at my phone. Phone says, oh, Stanford scored 19 unanswered points going into the 4th quarter. Score was 29-19. Looked at it and was like, oh, okay, but Colorado's probably going to win this game. I'm not turning this game on. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. Go to bed. Get a text message from none other than my friend, Chels is right, asking me, did I see what happened last night? And I said, no. What happened last night? She said, you need to go look at the score for the Colorado game. And I went and looked at the score and said, you gotta be shitting me. What the fuck happened? And how did we get here? So I am one of the people that, Chels, you talk about when it comes. Listen, didn't think that game was going to be interesting at all. When they went up 29-0, it at the time confirmed my thought process going into that game. Didn't think that it was worth me watching. And yes, it's a Pac-12 game, comes on hella late. I was ready to go to bed. I had a couple of drinks that evening, and I was ready to go to bed. Didn't think nothing of it. Yeah. I could not believe what I saw. I be John Brown. When I saw,
you're so funny.
What happened? the next day. So, did you watch this game? And if you did, tell me what happened.
So, I was not going to watch it. I didn't know they were playing. And I said, oh, they're playing. Oh, they're playing Stanford. The same thing. I said, oh, they're playing Stanford. I'll peek in. So I peeked in. I did see 29-0 at the half. I went back and, it's spooky season for me. So I went back and was watching. I don't know. It was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, something that's going to keep me up at night. But lo and behold, I didn't know that this was going to be a game that was going to keep me up at night. So I got a text from our good friend Tracy. So Tracy said, I just came back from the Lauryn Hill show and I'm about to watch the rest of this game. So I'm stuck on her going to see Lauryn Hill because I'm like, girl, did the lady show up? And she said, yeah, she showed up and it was for 62 minutes. And I'm just talking. I said, well, wait a minute. Did you say you was about to watch the Stanford game? I turned and bloop, smacked myself upside the head. I said, what? So when I turned, it was 29-19, and then Stanford scored. So I literally went to the bathroom, came back, and it was 26-29. And now I'm tuned in. Mind you, friends, it's a smooth 1 o'clock in the morning at this time.
Mm-hmm. Pac-12 peak hours, baby.
Pac-12 After Dark Friday edition.
Yep.
So what happened, what I think happened, Colorado ran out of steam. Their defense was tired. They said, we motherfucking tired. We motherfucking tired. And you could tell that they were like depleted. So Stanford scores. I think Colorado did score again, but Stanford was able to tie the game up to send the game into overtime. Now, at that point, it's 1:45 a.m. I am fully committed to this game at this point, even though I am dog tired. But so the game ended up overtime. So you guys know the college overtime, you got to kind of pay attention. First overtime, the game starts 25-yard line, which is good for tired defenses, right? So Colorado gets the ball first, they score a touchdown. Stanford gets the ball. I really thought that Stanford was going to blow it. They didn't. They got the touchdown. Now it's Colorado's turn again. Colorado, I think it was on third down. Shedeur was under attack. Mm-hmm. Stanford found, I don't know whose defense they plugged into this game, but Shedeur was under attack. And that baby threw a pick in the end zone. Mm-hmm. And it was, it wasn't one of those like, oh, Shedeur made a bad decision and threaded it too tight and it got picked off. He was literally backpedaling for his life. Mm-hmm. And he just threw it up into the air. Now, I would have liked for him to throw it away, but I don't even know if he could throw it away. I don't even know if he could get his wits about him to throw it away.
Right.
But, it went right into the hands of a Stanford defender. And Stanford, of course, a couple of ticks, they were able to get they get the ball back. They got there, they kicked the field goal, and then that was it. And so it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to call you. I wait, kept checking, and y'all know I say Rita don't get up early enough for me because I wake up early. I be ready to talk. And by the time she got up, and she's like, "Huh? What happened? They won!" And I was like, "I should have called you. I'm so sorry." But then we got to see so people were very shocked. I'm sure a lot of people went to sleep. I'm sure the Buffalo Brigade was asleep. They probably didn't know they were playing. The bandwagon fans didn't even know they was playing. I know they probably didn't even know it is. They probably don't even know that college football is on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But
sometimes Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Sometimes Tuesday, because we had a Tuesday game too. Mm-hmm. So, but it was just, I'm concerned about a couple of things. One of the things I'm concerned about is the use of Travis Hunter. And
I agree.
I don't think that Travis Hunter was back after 3 games with a lacerated liver. And he came back in this game and played both sides of the ball. We saw a touchdown in the end zone in overtime where the defender, where the wide receiver, which I cannot recall his name right now, but I know his first name is Alec.
You sent it to me.
I did. His name is Alec.
His name is Alec Manor. A.O.
Yeah,
Manor?
he sounds Dominican. I feel
Mhm.
like he one of my Dominican people. But yes, so Alec was Alec Alec before that game, he had 1 touchdown and like 13 receptions
For 207 yards. I never forget it.
207 yards. That's right. Now, after this game, they done turned that man into a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
I have the statistics that you sent me for the game against Colorado. Now, mind you, what she told you he had 1 touchdown, 207 yards prior to that Colorado game. During the Colorado game, he had 13 receptions, 294 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So he
294 American football yards.
He matched his year total, tripled his touchdowns in 1 game.
In 1 game. But that catch, he used Travis Hunter's helmet to secure the ball.
To secure the ball. That's my favorite thing.
That's cool shit. Let me tell you something. You do that to me, we had the team bus with it, baby. We had the team bus with it. You're not doing that. You're not catching no fucking touchdown off my helmet. We had the team bus.
We at the team bus.
Yeah, at the team bus. But I feel bad about that because it's like, this man is coming back off of like we said, out for 3 games, and you got him playing both sides of the ball. Yeah. And stop talking about, he wants to. You the coach.
And apparently he played more snaps in this game than he did the other games that he has been in. And that's too much. That is just too much.
It's too much. And you're going to wear him down to the brake pads before it's time to go into the draft.
Mm-hmm. It sucks.
And we see what it looks like when players are really, really good, and then they got so many injuries right at the end of their college career, and we see what happens when they go into college. When they go into the NFL, it's just it's a bigger game, and they can't keep up. Their body is too worn down. So I feel really bad for Travis Hunter in that respect.
I agree. I agree with that. Here's the problem with Colorado. They really did need that win. We know, and if you don't know, if you're new to the college football, in order to be bowl eligible, you have to win 6 games. Mm-hmm. So right now they're at 4-3. Well, here's the rest of their schedule. UCLA, which I actually give them a chance because I'm not sold on UCLA, quite frankly. Okay. Oregon State. That offensive line is phenomenal, by the way. Mm-hmm. Arizona, which earlier in the year, I would have definitely been like, oh, Colorado got this, but I'm not really sure anymore. Washington State and Utah. And I don't know where, I can give you one in a possible, maybe. And so it's not out the realm that they get the 6 wins, but it also doesn't look great that they get the 6 wins, because Stanford is probably the worst team that you had on your schedule, and yet you could not beat them. So
Stanford's 1-4. They were bad. That should have been just like any other time. You got to win the games that you're supposed to win.
Yep.
You need to do yourself a favor. They already won 1 game that they were not supposed to win, but the rest of them they only got 1 game that they won that they were not favored in, right? Stanford should have been a gimme. They're a terrible team, but somehow they found something. They figured out how to exploit some weak spots, which Colorado has quite a few weak spots. And I think that they just wore them out. That's what it looked like. It looked like they just looked tired. They look tired. They look worn out.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with you. So they are on a bye this week. And so we'll see what happens when they come back and play UCLA next weekend. Game of the week lived up to all the expectations. Oregon at Washington. We got to see Stetson Bennett Light, a.k.a. Bo Nix, play against who my Heisman pick would be with Michael Penix Jr. And that was such a great game, Charles. Like, if you didn't have an opportunity to see it, you definitely missed out. It was good from start to finish. It had, you know, you on the edge of your seats on how this was going to end, and it did not disappoint. Saw Anthony Anderson there. And
The entertainer was there.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're starting to see celebs, you know, get into
other games of other teams.
But such a great game.
Yes.
Such an awesome game.
Yeah. I'm still excited about the game. I'm still excited when the game is over. Like, it's like, well, who won? Who the fuck cares who won? That shit was so fucking great. Like, I was traveling, so I was like, I'm gonna miss the first few minutes of the game. So I was very happy that the game started a little bit late. You know, that extra 15 minutes, so I was able to see it start to finish. It lasted so long. It almost went into overtime. It could have gone into overtime if not for a missed field goal. Y'all know college kickers are unreliable, but not for the missed field goal. But part of me was glad, but part of me was like, do I need more? Do I need more?
I kind of blame Dan Lanning for this. I think that he was too aggressive in that game. I think that they would have, when you start looking at the points that they missed because they went for it on fourth down instead of taking the points, they would have won that game. So I understand you feel like you got to be aggressive on the road. But for me, I think when you on the road in a hostile environment, you got to take the points. And I think that that's a lesson. I don't know if he learned any lessons. He probably going to keep doing the same thing 10 times over. All I know is that when I start doing the math is not mathing. And if you would have took them 3 points a couple times, you'd have won that football game. That's what I am.
Because it wasn't, I mean, they were equally matched all around. Like, it was, hey, and Grandpa Bo Nix was balling out there like, hey. Hey, he was saying that thing, girl.
Grandpa Nix.
I said, oh, man, this is football right here.
Yeah, that was an excellent game. It was very good. The game that came on afterward, which was something that myself and others looked forward to, was USC at Notre Dame. Now, if you don't notice, they are a quasi-rival. I mean, they are a rival. I don't want to say quasi, but I say quasi because Notre Dame is not committed to any conferences. I think that they committed to the ACC in basketball, and I might have made that up. I felt like that they committed to doing ACC for some sport, but they're not committed. Like, they're not in a conference, right? Mm-hmm. And so they do have teams here and there that they have quote unquote rivalries with, and USC is one of those teams, and they play every year. So, you know, all the hype with Caleb Williams and such coming in, and then, man, they shit the bed, dog. It was bad.
Against Notre Dame, too. Like, y'all know we be wanting them to lose. What y'all doing? I was so confused when I finally, and you know, I'm on the adrenaline high from Oregon and Washington.
Yeah.
Let's keep the good football rolling. Let's see. I turned to that. I said, oh, what is happening? That's all right, Link. Don't worry about it, Rita. Lincoln Riley's smarter than everybody.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. One of the things that I feel like I've noticed is that Caleb Williams is pressing, and I don't know if it's because like his line isn't doing what he wants him to do or whatever, but it does feel like, because I saw a statistic, and I'm going to try to find it while I'm talking, but Caleb Williams, in my opinion, when I watched him play the last few weeks, it does feel like he's like pressing. I want to paraphrase what I remember in reading, is that someone says that Caleb looks like he's trying to hit a grand slam every time, you know, he gets the ball. And I think that that's a fair thing to say. Like, it does look like Caleb is trying to do too much, right? And I don't know what to do with that, because you can't. It's 60 minutes, right? And sometimes you make these ill-advised throws, trying to be some type of Superman, and then all of a sudden, you know, you putting your defense in harm's way because you already know you ain't got no defense. You don't have one. So I don't even understand like why you would do something like that. That's
why you keep wanting to put them on the field.
Yes. I just don't get it. I just don't understand some of the decisions that Caleb Williams makes. And I think that Lincoln Riley gives him probably too much things. Okay, this is it. PFF, Bruce Feldman. If you don't follow him, he's a college football writer. And he said, PFF said Caleb Williams has gone from being the top ranked passer under pressure in FBS in 22 to the 176th ranked passer under pressure, or fifth worst in 2023. An NFL scout told us it's like he's trying to hit a 5-run home run every time. I don't know. That's not real. I don't know, baby. Whoever the scout is, baby, it's only 3 bases, so it can only be a grand slam.
I know that.
I mean, so that's why I mentioned grand slam. I thought he
maybe
said
that was for dramatic effect.
Oh, okay, but I mean, you could have just said grand slam, and we would have understood. Exactly what that meant. But anyway, he has definitely not played well. I don't know, who to blame. Is it his offensive line that's not holding up their end of the bargain? Are they just playing against better defenses and his receivers aren't getting open? I don't know, but it does feel like when I watch Caleb, he's pressing now to make like a play as opposed to playing smart football sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Lincoln has to look into getting a defense, into investing in
help that man out. Well, he's gone after this year, but help whoever is coming after him out.
Right. Yeah. Help him out. I mean, I know that you are the quarterback whisperer and all of those wonderful things, but like you need to, his draft stock is going to drop messing around with you. And I mean, yeah, it's just not how I thought it would be. Like we thought Caleb Williams was the man this season. Like this is his world this season, right? And looks like it's gonna be your guy,
Penix. Mm-hmm. I mean, and they got to look. Polk also for Washington should probably be a candidate. Of course, Grandpa Nix is probably going to be in New York as well because Stetson Bennett been playing good. You can't say that he hasn't, but he had time to turn it around. But they also play Utah this weekend, so I don't know if this is the week he's going to be able to do it because last year Utah beat USC.
Yeah.
Remember, so not really sure how that is going to go. All right, Charles, some great football that is going to be played this weekend. Your Alabama Crimson Tide is playing the Tennessee Vols. I am a Vols hater. So what do you think you're getting out of this? Because there's, Alabama has had ups and downs this year. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, Alabama's had ups and downs. And, it's one thing for the offense to sputter in the beginning of games, but defense, needs some, kind of like the Tin Man need a little oil. Defense has been needing a little oil in the beginning of the games, and every team is not going to be that team that you can do that with. We saw that last year. Alabama embarrassed me in front of a bunch of Georgia fans when I was in Atlanta watching the game. Embarrassed me, and I was like, and they carried the goalposts up out there to the water. So this year it's in Alabama. Let's act like we got some sense and some business about us, friends. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I think y'all will win this game, but I do think it'll be your 8.5-point favorites. I don't know if I would go that far, but I do think that
1-point favorites last week and won by 3 points.
Yeah. So that's why I said I don't think I would go that far, but I definitely think that y'all are absolutely capable of winning that game. Penn State goes to Columbus to play Ohio State University. What you think?
I don't know. I'm gonna be watching, but I don't know. That's a noon game, right? That
it is. Yes, it is a noon game. Yes.
Yeah. I really don't know. I mean, we ain't picking these games. We just talking about it.
I always feel like Penn State lets me down. I don't know what it is, but I feel like when it comes to big moments, they let me down. And I could be wrong, but until I see them beat Ohio State, it is what it is. this is a doozy. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Duke is ranked 16th in the country, and they are playing Florida State this weekend. Is this Drake May's team?
No, that would be
North Carolina.
That's North Carolina, yes.
Look, I go.
We about to get some hate mail.
Clearly, I ain't watched a Duke game all year, I watched a blip of a North Carolina game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am very sorry, UNC fans. Do not kill me. I have not watched much UNC football, but I'm going to change that. I really feel like I'm obligated now because that's another dude who appears to be a Heisman candidate, and there's a lot of hype going on around him. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like ACC football, so I don't watch it much. But I'm going to, now that I didn't put that man on the wrong team, and then the worst team I could have put him on.
I mean, they about to be the tiki torches about to be in our mentions.
I mean it. Damn. We already mentioned USC Utah. They will be at USC on Saturday. That is the 8 p.m. game. This is a game that's interesting, Chels. I am not going to lie to you. Neither team is ranked, but I'm interested. Clemson at Miami.
Oh, yeah.
That should be good.
Clemson not ranked.
I love it. I love it.
Good.
Absolutely love it.
Say, yes, it did.
Oh, yes, it did. I love it. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, that tickles my spirit. But I think that should be a good game. Chels, did you tell the people that your father was very upset about that Miami game, and he still wants to talk about it later?
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, my father. Y'all know I be telling you on the timeline. I truly believe my father on the spectrum. So I be telling, like, he don't let things go. And so what happened is he didn't see the game. But I told him about the game, and then he went to, so he has a golf crew. Every Saturday morning, the old man golf crew, they go golfing. When it rains, they all go to breakfast together. So everyone is at breakfast talking about the game, and it has reignited him. And so they're talking about the game. And so he does not have room for ridiculousness, and he needs immediate answers, and he wants them right away. What he wants to do is call Mario Cristobal. That's what he wants to do. So I am walking around the house, and I'm like washing clothes, folding clothes. He said, let me ask you something. That Miami game. And what was he thinking? I said, he wasn't thinking. Da, da, da. He said, well, what happened? Now, he knows what happened, but he wants me to retell it. So he says, well, why? If you
going to change, he thought you was going to tell a different story. That's why. He thought that his friends lied.
He thought I was going to give him logic. And I said, he got the ball. He said, well, what down was? I said, I think they just got it back. I think it was first down. He said, so all he had to do was kneel it out. And I went step by step, and he was like, well, why? I'm literally walking down the steps, getting away from the conversation. And he's still, why would they do something like that? Why didn't he just do it? It just wastes the game. And so I told Rita, because, Rita loved my dad. I said, this man is wearing me out. He wants to know why. Right now, immediately, why did that happen? It made no sense at all. It was not a player's mistake. It was why did you do that? And my answer to him is, I got the same question you got.
And apparently this was Cristobal's MO. Like, apparently he's done this, with other teams. So it's just something that he does that he just cannot get out of his system. I hope for his sake that he don't lose his job over it. But yeah, that's a nasty, nasty loss that you just did not have to have. And you would be 5-1 if you did not do what you did. And yet here we are. You probably be
doing the most.
The most.
All I can hear is my daddy say, all he had to do was take a knee. All he had to do was I said, literally, we know all of that. So it doesn't make sense. And it really doesn't make sense. I mean, my dad is hilarious, but like, that's how we all were. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, what is your reasoning? What did you think? What were you hoping to gain? Because it's 30 seconds. Like, did you want to score again?
Yeah, And this is why we threw them in the volcano. We threw him in the volcano because, you know, now we got to answer questions 2 weeks later about that game that we don't have the answers to. So we're not going to put him in the volcano again this week, but yeah, that he deserved to go in there when he went in there 2 weeks ago. Speaking of the volcano, Chels, who are you putting in the volcano this week?
I am putting the entire GOP House of Representatives sector into the volcano because you guys are some embarrassing ass idiots. I have never in my life. So if you don't know, if you're not up on politics, which you need to be into politics because politics is into you. The GOP decided they wanted to oust Kevin McCarthy, who's a terrible, awful person, and I wish all bad things for him. But they wanted to oust him because he made a deal to get us out of this the federal shutdown, the federal government shutdown. He crossed the aisle and made a deal for that to get us out of that, and we're very grateful that he did the bare minimum of his job, which extended it for 45 days. And if you are in the federal government, I don't know if people remember the last time the government was shut down for like legit a long period of time, that trickled down, it starts to trickle down. It goes down to, you start seeing the gas, the grocery stores, like all things start happening when the federal government is not operating. And we should always have an operational federal government. But anyway, Kevin McCarthy takes his big dumb tail on the news channels the next day and starts talking shit about the Democrats. And so finally, the Democrats have decided to be as petty as I would like them to be. And they decided to back his ousting since he wants to run his mouth so much. But these people have no plan. They have no solid people to replace. They are children that are just hollering and screaming at daycare. That's all this is. And so right now, they cannot elect a speaker because they cannot get the votes. And so they have Goodell, who has a sordid history. He's an insurrectionist. He got some other stuff that was going on. What was it, Notre Dame?
I think it was Ohio State where
State. Yeah, and he had knowledge of some improprieties at Ohio State. And they have been voting and they cannot get a solid candidate because they need some Democrat votes, and the Democrats are standing arms locked and they're not moving. And it is very petty, and I'm for it. But I would like to put all of them into the volcano because you are embarrassing. We are in the middle of 2 wars. We have a lot going on. The country is in turmoil, and we don't have a Speaker of the House because of you idiots. Y'all do not care about anybody but yourself. Please make yourself comfortable inside of the volcano. May you burn eternally.
I could not have said that any better. We are such an unserious place, dog. This
ridiculous country. It is ridiculous.
It's so embarrassing. Like these people are fucking embarrassing, and I don't even know how else to say that. But that is exactly what it is. They're an embarrassing group, and I'm fucking tired. And you said everything so eloquently and accurately. And thank you for putting them in the motherfucking volcano. I'm going to stick with politics here. I'm going to put Joe Manchin in the volcano. I don't know what the volcano is, but that's what I was about to say. But I'm putting Joe Manchin in the volcano. If you haven't heard, they were doing some testimonies on Federal Hill. They were doing some testimonies now about college athletes and about, potentially becoming professionals at the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. And Joe Manchin went on record and saying it's hard to root for the kids when they're starting as multimillionaires as freshmen and sophomores. Well, there's a couple things. One, you only find it hard to root for them because a lot of them are black, and there's that. But also, you got some motherfucking nerve, Joe Manchin. You know what's hard to root for? Motherfuckers that pretend to be one thing and say that they're running as a Democrat or whatever, and saying that this is what they're intending to do, and then do the exact opposite. You know who does that? Joe Manchin. So while you worried about these motherfucking kids who should be getting paid, who have made, the NCAA has made billions of dollars off the backs of these children and should get a cut from the money, okay? You out here faking like you a motherfucking Democrat, and you're not. Okay, so you got bigger fish to fry, and it ain't these kids making money for something that they actually do and are earning themselves into. Okay, fix the fucking country. Stop worrying about these fucking kids, and leave us the fuck alone. Get in the volcano.
Get in
That's
the
what I want.
Oh, when I say I'm so tired of him, and you know, for him, once the Democrats were able to get that extra Senate seat, it made him, you know, obsolete. You know, it took away some of his power. And I think he's been quiet for a while, but you know, he's on the take. He's taking a lot of money, so this is a very ironic stance.
Oh yeah, it's okay for them to do it.
I mean, it is very clear that he is taking money. So, and you're in a state that is bringing in a lot of revenue for college athletics, football and basketball. So I know you are running your mouth for no reason right now.
Absolutely. I know them kids was on Capitol Hill when they heard him talk and said it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it. Fuck it. That's what I would have said. Okay, y'all out here making all this money. Y'all should not be making this money. The grifts is fucking real, and these kids are out here actually playing the sport. They're not grifting. They're working. Okay, they're either working to, you know, get into the NFL or, you know, spin off to do something else. And you don't think that they should get paid on an industry that has made billions of dollars from them and their hard work ethic? You can go to hell and get in the motherfucking volcano.
Bye bye. Get in. We need a volcano with a top on it because these people keep jumping out.
Put the top on the volcano.
Put a top on it.
Put a lid on it.
Put a lid on it.
Shit. All right, Charles. Before we go, do you have any final thoughts?
Actually, I do. I just want to wish happy homecoming to all my CAU family. I'm not able to be there this year. I will be there next year. I know everybody is partying and having a good time this weekend. Also, happy birthday to our girl, Angel. Angel's birthday is today.
All right, happy birthday.
Yeah, so you know that's every time I introduce Angel to any of my friends, she becomes their favorite person. So Rita was able to meet Angel when we went to see Usher in Vegas in April. So yes, happy birthday to my girl. Love you, girl. And that's it for me.
My final thought is shout out to our friend Bomani Jones, who is back with his podcast, The Right Time. He is, you know, coming back, and he's going to be doing it, and he's going to have Foxworth Fridays again, and it's good to see him come back. You can't have talented and good people down long. They're always going to find a way to come back up, and you know, we know Bo has. You know, the show, which I thought was very good on HBO, they canceled it. We know he's no longer with ESPN, but a lot of people are excited about The Right Time coming back. And so I just want to shout him out because he's a good friend of the show. And good luck, bro. I mean, we know it's going to be good. People are looking forward to the content because there's a lot of sports to be talked about.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it's funny that you said good people find a way because, ironically, Bo also went to Clark Atlanta University, and our motto, find a way or make one. Ha!
Yeah. And he did. He definitely did. So shout out to y'all, the Clark Atlanta people that are doing your things around here. We are proud of you here on this podcast. As y'all know, we are very pro HBCU. So we are excited for y'all. We want to thank y'all for listening. And of course, we'll be back talking about your favorite NFL team or your favorite college football team, or maybe ours. I don't know. I mean, whatever. If somebody do something dumb, we're going to talk about it. Really. That's all it boils down to. So we'll see who is the pick of the litter next week when we come back. Thanks for listening.
Later.